Hey everybody, so I am making a pizza tonight. I am making it all from scratch, and I wanted to show you guys how I do my homemade pizza sauce. So I love cooking and I love making things from scratch and with fresh ingredients. I'm sure you guys have noticed that already. So this is really simple. I actually wasn't going to make a video, but I had the time. It's a really simple recipe, and it's so easy to do, and it actually costs less depending on where you get your produce from than buying actual canned pizza sauce. So what you're going to need is, I'm going to be making a couple smaller pizzas. So I am using 5 nice tomatoes, and they were 89 cents a pound, so it's a great deal. 1 big red onion, garlic, some nice oil, and herbs. This is rosemary right here. I also have thyme and oregano, and then I also have basil, but that's set aside. So what you want to start with is your oil. I always start by infusing my oil with pepper, garlic, and then this is the rosemary that I just cut up. I like using all fresh ingredients for this, especially when you're working with fresh produce, because it just really enhances the flavor and it creates a better depth. We are going to be roasting these tomatoes. I don't know if I mentioned that already. And when I'm roasting, I'm always going to use a nice olive oil. You can add more olive oil in when you are blending it up, but we roast them first to bring out the flavor and to really caramelize them and get all that good flavor. So the reason why we're infusing it instead of just roasting, oh, it smells so good already. Instead of just roasting it with the herbs and with the garlic on top, is because you're creating more depth. When we infuse the oil with the herbs and the garlic, it just gives it another layer, another depth that you wouldn't have with just placing the herbs. Especially because we're mincing all of these things really nice in the oil, it brings out more of the flavor. Okay, so that is how you do the infused oil. So I'm going to half these tomatoes, just cut them down the sides, place them on a baking sheet, and I'll show you guys that. Then we're going to chop some more garlic up, put that on top, put all of our herbs on top, and we'll be ready to go. We're going to put them in the oven. I like to do mine. I don't have a set amount of time that I leave them in there for, but I normally will preheat the oven to about 400 degrees, and I'll let them sit in there until they're nice and caramelized on the top, just a little bit blackened. You don't want anything to burn, but you do want it to get that nice, rich, caramelized flavor. So I'll get right back with you guys once I'm done chopping up the tomatoes and getting them on the pan. Okay guys, so I've halved the tomatoes, and I have 2 techniques here. I have some of them that have the seeds and all the insides in them, and then I have some that don't. Some people don't like their pasta sauces to be so watery or to have as many seeds in it, so you feel free to, with as many as you want, or if all of them, to just extract all the seeds from them. I like some to stay in there. I think they really add a lot of flavor, but I definitely understand not wanting to keep them in. They do water down the sauce a lot. And a lot of the water is going to come out too, so don't worry about it too much. And these will probably have a different cooking time. I'll probably have to take them out a little bit earlier. What I've done is I've taken sea salt and freshly ground pepper, and I have just sprinkled it with that. I put some of the oregano and some of the thyme on there. I haven't added any more rosemary yet, because that's all in the oil, and I'll add sprigs of it on top. I have not cut my onion yet either. I'll put the onion on there for roasting as well. But what I have done is I've minced up my garlic. I only have one person with me today, and that is myself. So I didn't get to show you guys my sweet chopping techniques. I'm really good with the knife. But I'm just going to put the garlic all on top of here. I like to add the garlic to it because it can sit a little bit longer. The more the tomatoes sit out in the open with the herbs and the garlic on top, it's going to add just more of a depth of flavor to it. It's going to let it soak in a little bit more. Then I'm going to start chopping up my onions. I don't like to chop them really fine or anything. I like to give the onions and leave some of them actually whole. As you can see, I've left a spot for some onions to go because I'm going to caramelize them as well. This is just a really amazing fresh pasta sauce, and you can use whatever herbs you want to. You can use spinach. I know that I've seen people actually caramelize spinach or caramelize fennel, which is really good, I'm told, in pasta sauces. So you can really do what you want. And remember, when you're working with fresh herbs especially, there's so much energy, there's so much intent that you can put into them. I noticed that Charming Pixie Flora just recently uploaded a video, and it kind of made me chuckle, because I was like, hey, that's kind of what I do in my videos, talking about putting intent into all of your cooking and everything you make. So I am going to finish up chopping everything and adding things, and I will show you right before I put in the oven, and then I will also show you guys the final product. Okay, everyone, so here we have the onions added on. I know these things are loaded with flavor. I've been told that I have a very high tolerance for flavor. If there is not a bunch of stuff on it, then it is not enough for me. So I actually have some more herbs. This is oregano here that I just chopped up. But before I shove these in the oven, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about this recipe, because this is just the roasting of the tomatoes. Once they're done roasting, you throw them in a blender and you will just pulse it a little bit until it gets to the consistency you want. But with this recipe, with making roasted tomatoes, you can also make salsa with it. You can make a really awesome roasted tomato soup, and it has so much flavor, and you can actually put potatoes on here too and do a potato tomato soup, which is so good. I'll probably plop some whole sprigs of rosemary on here just like that. So you can see, very beautiful, just to get the flavor. Another thing about this is that this is a fully done thing. Once you pull these out, everything that is on this platter or on this cooking tray is going to go in the blender. You're not going to waste anything, so there's onions all in between there. I'll probably add a little bit more of the onion just so that it gives it a good flavor. I'll probably add more at the end too. But you really can't go wrong when making this recipe. It's super easy, especially roasting anything in general. It's just a good way to add flavor, add depth to the recipe that you are cooking. And don't forget to properly season your onions. These are way less seasoned than everything else, and I feel bad because they want some love too. Okay, so yeah, so once these are done and all seasoned up, let me add the rest of these. You're just going to throw them in a blender, and they will be the right consistency for your sauce. I might show you guys some pictures of the pizza. I have to run out and do a couple things, and I actually work tonight, so I'm trying to get this all done before I go to work. But anyways, I hope you guys try this. It's really fun to roast up tomatoes. Oh, it's also a great thing to do in the summer. When you have fresh vegetables, all of these are fresh produce. Everything is fresh and ready to go. So I hope you guys try it out and let me know how it tastes, and I will make more videos soon when I have more time. Love and light. Bye. Okay guys, so here's the finished product. Let me turn the fan off so you can hear me a little better. Here's the finished pizzas. I was kind of rushing because I had to talk to my work, and then I have to go in tonight, so I've been rushing to get everything ready. But the roasting took a little over 20 minutes to do with the tomatoes. It really depends on how caramelized you want your tomatoes to be. The onions went by a lot quicker. The onions were in there for, I would have to say just at 20 minutes. I took them out, and then I let the tomatoes roast a little bit longer. They were really sweet when they came out, so that was nice. But yes, super easy. I mean, like I said, the roasting tomatoes is really versatile. You can use them for a couple different recipes. Maybe when I have more time, I will show you guys how to do the whole thing and blend it up and do a recipe for crust or something. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and enjoying the weather. And yeah, so love and light. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.